Greetings and welcome to another episode of Let's Play Neverwinter Nights, where we just stumbled across Delilah, which is one of the prisoners that escaped, with whose ear we need to fetch.
You've beaten me. I cannot defeat you, try as I might, though fighting you was not my desire. And now I would only ask that you show mercy and let me leave defeated.
Who are you? Aha! Oh my! All this fighting and you don't even have a reason to kill me. And here I thought you were a bounty hunter. Then again, perhaps you are. Either way, my name's Delilah. I'd say it's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, but I'm sure you understand the truth. Delilah, you're one of the escaped convicts I've been told about. So you know about me. It appears that try as I might, I cannot escape my past, and I will never have freedom. Your past? Freedom? What do you mean? I was locked away in prison many years ago. I will not defend my past, and yes, I understand what I did was despicable. Not that I really cared. I did it. It helped me get by. So I escaped prison. Perhaps if I could, I'd go back to my old life. Perhaps I'd start anew. To me, it matters little. Just to be free from the prison. So I thought. What would be the difference? You're free now. How did you manage to escape? Truly, you are a curious one. You seek to know every detail, it seems. Well, that's really the only reason why I chase after you guys. Perhaps there's something else you desire about me, besides my pretty little head. No matter, let me continue with my story. In prison I met with some other inmates. A half-breed led them by the name of Yeskar. Like me, they were looking for a way out. Who were the other inmates? The others were named Sturge, Zor, and Prissy Whiffen. We all had our tasks. I was to deal with the guards. Go on. We all escaped without a hitch. We escaped the most secure prison in all of Waterdeep. Even if you decide to kill me where I stand, I will be remembered for that. Surely by now you can have no further questions. So tell me, have you made the decision as to what to do, what you do with me? I have made a decision. It's time to die. I see. Well. See, here I'm not just judge. I'm the bounty hunter. And I have no reason for you to keep you alive. Right. One more ear for the bag. Let's see, I can't identify this. But with a potion I should be able to. Oh, Andiku's armor. It's not bad. If I didn't have the white bone armor, I'd consider it, but again, just the extra resistance is not really enough. I don't need another empty bottle. Alright, so that's one of the prisoners dealt with. And that I've actually started the timer, I'll know exactly when I will have need to finish. It doesn't matter. Let's see. It's a cave. Can I get there from here? I don't think so. Let's just do this quest now, for now. Ooh, troll. Not a troll.
I love this part!
Yeah, the trolls are not that difficult. They can hit hard, but most often they're just very easy targets. Alright. A locked chest.
Okay, dokie.
You could deal with that. I'll check the rubble. Well, healer's kit. That's always nice to find. And there's a sarcophagus or coffin on this side, which is also locked.
Okay, dokie.
Well, let's see what's in here.
Okay, dokie.
Right. Are you stuck? Open this thing up.
It's done.
Bull strength. That's not bad. Yeah. That's a good place to put a frontiersman who doesn't heed the warning of others. Alright. Into the troll case. Storage area. Human body. There's nothing on it.
Soleno Samatka.
Darn it, Tommy. If only I'd had a few flasks of alchemist fire or something. Ooh, level up. How neat. First, let's get my fool back. My henchman back.
It was so strange.
I knew I was close to leveling now. Alright, let's see what I can level up in. Well, let's take another level in Paladin. Right, concentration, discipline. Persuade, and I was leveling up Taunt, I guess. My healing is already good enough. I get nothing else from that, no new feats. Do I get any new spells? And, ooh, Tommy has leveled. I get another second level spell. Let's see. Remove paralysis. Resist elements. Resist elements might be good. I was kinda hoping for another first level spell as well, but doesn't look like I've gotten one. Bull strength would also be nice, but I'll just take resist elements. Alright. Alright, that'll do.
Eh? What can Tommy do for you?
Well, I just want to talk. But you have in mind, let's continue the story from before. Aye, the night of the jewel heist, right? I suppose you've been a fine friend, my lord. I can tell you about it. The gem we were after was no other than the fabled Star of Kalimsham. It was not the most valuable ruby in the land, but certainly one of the more notorious. According to legend, the Pashas of Kalimsham gifted it to their wives on their wedding night, and the stone glows from within, filled with the tears of their lost innocence. Or so the story goes. My daring plan, and Sammy's, was to pluck this stone from the depths of the royal palace, from the very chambers of the Sil Pasha's wife herself. Isn't that very dangerous for a young thief? Oh, aye. What would be far worse, however, would be the Sil Pasha's reaction. Taking it would be one thing, surviving long enough to enjoy it would be something else. At any rate, the night came. Sammy and Rhaegar stole into the palace ahead of me, with Sammy having no idea that of my presence. Rhaegar left a trail that was quite easy to follow. I remember being at rest at the time that things were going so well. No guards alerted, no problems whatsoever. I thought maybe Sammy's foul luck had finally turned for once. And then? Well, of course, Sammy tripped over a fold in the carpet and took a spill into a suit of armor. It fell over him into two others, and the resulting clatter would have woken Nebuchadnezzar's dead brother-in-law. Poor Rhaegar turned white as a virgin's dainty bottom when he saw the horde of soldiers charging down the hall. He leapt out the window without first considering where we were over the lion pit. Poor fella. What happened to Sammy? The guards ran right past the pile of armor, didn't even think to look for a small halfling buried under there, lucky for Sammy. Anyway, give old Sammy some credit for stubbornness. He climbed out from under that armor and still came for the ruby. Felt me plucking it from its pedestal, in fact. He was surprised to see me, to say the least. I decided to give him a piece of my mind, as I recall. "Why, Sammy," I said, "why did you betray me? I've never done anything to you." Oh, he must have liked that. I never got to hear his response, oddly. He just turned all purple and his eyes bulged out and he spluttered a lot. Looked rather like some outraged kobold. The guards ran in just then and it was pandemonium. There was fighting and screaming and running. Last I remember, I dived into the sea. Is that a dove? Never mind. And woke up 3 days later on a freighter bound for Tarsalt. Want to hear the funny part? For all that Sammy was a terrible thief, he was a wonderful pickpocket. Stole the ruby off me, he did, and I had nothing to show for all that. What happened to Sammy? Not sure exactly. I'd heard he ended up on a slave ship and someone got sold to one of the high captains in Luskan. Poor sod. Me, I'd like to track down that ruby one of these days. The Star of Kalimsham. Ah, that'll still be worth it, to make me famous. Well, I have a ruby here. Is this what you're looking for? By Brando Barrett's hairy feet, it is! Where in Faerun did you find that? I found it in the Wizard's Tower along the South Road. Huh, so Sammy did make it up hereabouts after all. Probably slaved away in some wizard's kitchen until he slipped into a vat of ale and drowned. Oh well. Thanks for finding it, my lord. I'll take it out like a nice portable mantle. If I had a mantle, that is. Wish I had something else, something aside from some pocket lint to pay you back. All I can offer you is my thanks and friendship in return. That's fine, Tommy. It's more than enough. You're a good man, my lord. Now let's find your cultists and kick some zealot butt. Yes, indeed. So did that actually do what I think it did? If I can find the ring. Here, Ring of the Rogue has now been upgraded to +3. Which is nice. Now, I don't know for certain if I have any of the other things that I need. Treaties on Forgotten Heroes. Just quickly go over the stuff that I have. Might as well rest while we're doing that. And start stung elemental long death. Soul's ring. I don't think I have anything else that is currently part of the quest lines that I'm fulfilling. I think. Well, let's at least have a look at what Dale and Body Knock want. Just so I can pick it up whenever I find it. And the rest we'll get to, eventually. And I should not be leveling for quite a while yet, so as long as we're picking up the quest now, it should be fine. Alright. Dale and Red Tiger.
I've been waiting for you.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes?
Let's level up, please. Yeah, into more snazzy armor.
Yes? Is there...
Continue your story from before, Dalen. You have been a true friend to me, Malcolm. I've been reluctant to speak to you of this, but you did help me recover my mother's brooch. Perhaps you can help me with this as well. I was not completely honest with you about the reasons I left my tribe. It is true I was sent away to prove myself. There was another reason as well. My mother's death was a violent one. She was brutally slain in a bandit raid on our camp, and I have vowed not to return to the tribe until I avenge her murder. Do you know who killed her? I was out hunting with a band of warriors when the attack came. The raiders hid and waited for us to leave, and sneaked in with the advantage of numbers. My tribe was outnumbered nearly 2 to 1, but they managed to drive the attackers off. 3 of our warriors fell in battle, as did my mother. How are you gonna track down the bandit who killed her? Do you remember when I told you of my vision quest? How my mother's brooch would bring me dreams to guide me in my quest? Last night I had a dream. My mother's spirit sent me this vision. I am certain of it. In my dream I saw a terrible axe dripping with blood from its notched blade. It was the weapon used to slay her. If I can find the axe, I will know I have found her killer. You are thinking a fool, Malcolm, but I believe I will find that axe. I must. My mother's spirit will never truly be at peace. I will not abandon the search for the cultists behind the plague. I have pledged my blade to you, and it is yours as long as you have need of me. But I will also vow that I will not rest until I find the axe with the notched blade that slew my mother. Don't worry, we'll find the axe and the killer who used it. Thank you, Malcolm. With a friend like you by my side, I have no doubt my mother's death will be avenged. Alright, since I'm here, I just will go by all of them.
I've been
Grimnor.
waiting for you.
Yes.
Is there something you need?
Yeah, I need you to level up, please. There. Snazzy new cloak.
Is there something you need?
Just wanna talk. Continue the story, please. My order has many secrets, Malcolm. Secrets we do not reveal to those outside our monastery. Yet you have proven yourself a friend of the Long Death before. You aided me in finding the ring of Alaganda. I believe you would have helped me bring death to her had she still been alive when we found her. Perhaps you can be of service to my order once more. For without your aid, I fear my brothers and sisters will never escape that terrible fate. What do you want me to do? I should begin by explaining what happened after we burned the Lich's lair. The corpses of our own, those who had risen against us, were brought back to the monastery of my order. There we sought to enact an ancient rituals to release their essence from the curse that had bound them to their animated corpses, but the chains of undeath are not easily broken. The ancient rituals require rare components. We had many casualties. A few we were able to save, but others remain draped in undeath, until we can find more of the necessary components for the ritual. What kind of components are you looking for? The components must come from the crypt of a powerful undead monster, but it must be something that has not yet been tainted by the creature's necromancy. For example, we would require the preserved hand from an inanimate corpse within a mummy's crypt. Only the power of such an item can release the essence of my brothers and sisters into the grasp of the Silent Lord. I will not abandon the search for the cultist, yada yada yada. But during our mission, I will not give my search up for the mummified hand of the inanimate corpse that I can release my brethren from undeath. Don't worry, I'm sure we'll find the component you're looking for. For the sake of my undead brothers and sisters, I can only hope so. Sure we.
I suspected you'd show.
Yeah.
Yes? Is there something you need?
Yeah, just level up. So you can be useful again.
Yes? Is there some...
I just want to talk. Very well, Malcolm. I have already told you we met Lady Onaris, correct? That she'd fawned all over Dannon, but he assured me there was nothing to fear. Well, we were bound by contract now to perform, so we did. We did so well too. It was not long before we were the toast of Athkatla, praised by Lord and Lady Onaris at every turn. Nobles showered us with attention and gifts at every turn. Everyone wanted us to perform for them next. I was a bit dazzled by it all, but also concerned. Lady Onaris continued to lavish attention on Dan. She called him to private performances without me, and he was spellbound, despite my efforts to distract him. Were they having an affair? I prayed it was not so. I suspected, but could prove nothing. The servants were too good at misdirecting me, subtly keeping me from interrupting their privacy. Desperate and angry, I accused Dan of succumbing to her lust. He denied it angrily, and I believed him. Almost. What did you do? After one of our largest concerts, I followed Danon as he left the stage. I used what magic I knew to disguise myself, avoiding the servants and keeping pace with him. I felt terribly guilty for the deception, hoping against hope that my suspicions weren't for naught. Of course, I was disappointed. I watched invisibly as Danon made his rendezvous with Lady Onaris, laying fervent kisses upon her and saying how every minute they were apart was excruciating to him. You should have left. You are right. If I had any sense, I would have left. I was young and in love, however, and that leaves no room for sense. In my shock, I must have dropped my spell, for the Lady Onaris spotted me. She did not care. She only laughed lightly and pointed me out to Danon. He merely looked at me and smiled. I merely stood there dumbfounded as Danon called me a foolish little girl, pathetic even. And not only did he prefer Lady Onaris, but he had never loved me. I fled, their mocking laughter ringing in my ears. I fled them. I fled Athkatla, and I've never been back. That's horrible, Sharwin. Yes, I was devastated. I had left the security of my family to make Danon my world, and it had crumbled around me as I said. As I said, however, things were not as they seemed. I found out much later that Lady Onaris' beauty was the result of an enchantment, a glamour. She had a spellbound Danon in a literal sense. I've also discovered that the lock of Nim's hair will break her spell. Danon will be released, and her glamour will end. She will revert to her natural appearance, old and fat, so I hear. And what will that prove? Danon wasn't strong enough to resist the spell. I will always blame him for that. A little. I would like to free him. Then he can decide for himself whether to stay with her based on truth, not illusion. Everyone should be allowed their little illusions, perhaps. I admit, I would give him some small satisfaction to remove a spell once and for all. All it will take is finding that Nim's hair. One day, perhaps, I shall discover some. We'll find you some Nim's hair, Sharwin. I believe you, Malcolm. It doesn't matter. You have more important things to do here. Well, let's just finish this. Linu.
I hope that you would return so Hey there, dear. What can I do for you?
You level up, so you can be useful again.
Hey there, dear.
Let's just talk. You've been a true friend to me, Malcolm. I have been reluctant to speak to you of this, but you did help me recover the chalice. Perhaps you can help me with this as well. Synth retired from his adventuring life for a couple of years. Then one day he came home with news that he had discovered the location of an ancient city. I knew as soon as he uttered those words that he would be off on another of his grand adventures. I wanted to go with him, but I was involved in preparing a special celebration for the temple. He wouldn't wait for you? I think he had waited for a time when I was wrapped up in something I couldn't get out of. It was his way of protecting me. Synth had a friend who was a mage. Synth had a friend who was a mage, create a pair of journals. We could write to each other and being in contact every day. I don't know why. He never wrote to me about this, his day, or his quest. Instead, he would write about his thoughts and philosophies on life and the mysteries. I wish he had written more about where he went. Why is that? The last entry he wrote, he spent several pages telling me how much he loved me, and that no matter what happened to him, I must go on. I knew something was wrong, and I begged him to tell me, but he ignored my pleas. The last thing he wrote was that he could hear them coming again. That was it. Now come someday I shall find the cave Synth was exploring. I will try to find that journal. I think that if I could do that, I would be able to get past this ghost that haunt my dreams. We will find the cultist, Malcolm, and justice shall be done, but then perhaps I can resume my quest. I am certain that the journal must exist somewhere, and someday I shall find it. Don't worry, we'll find the journal and discover what happened to your husband. Sweet Malcolm, I know that with you by my side anything is possible. Yep, step aside please, Bodinock, you are up.
You're back, so you must need something.
Yes.
Is there something you need?
Yeah, I need to use the level. Can you change your dress?
Is there something you need?
Yes, continue your story please. The pain of what happened to my father, how it has destroyed the garden he had spent a lifetime cultivating, is a very personal pain, Malcolm. But you have proved yourself to be a good friend after all. It was you who helped me find the leavened bread. I suppose it's only logical to expect you might be able to help me with my father as well. What do you want me to do? I know I can never replace the many varieties of plants and flowers that haunt in my father's garden, but perhaps if I make a grand gesture, he will find it in his heart to forgive me. Throughout my father's life, there has been one flower he has longed to see more than any other, but one which he has never been able to acquire. Among the great library of Lantern, there are accounts of a prism blossom, a living, growing flower whose petals are said to change color and reflect light as they were made of crystal. So why don't you get him one of these prism blossoms? The account of the flower occurs in only one text, the travel diary of an explorer who died several centuries ago after returning from a journey to the north. No one has ever been able to locate this rare flower or its gleaming crystal seeds, though many have spent a lifetime searching for it. It may be the prism blossom is only a myth, Malcolm, but if I could find the seeds of this flower and give them to my father, I'm certain he would forgive me for destroying his garden. I will not abandon the search, yada yada yada. But part of me is hoping that in our journeys we'll be lucky enough to stumble across the crystalline seeds of the prism blossom. Don't worry, I'm sure we'll find the seeds you're looking for. You are a true friend, Malcolm. With you by my side, I'm certain we will somehow find the seeds of the prism blossom. If they still exist. Yes, indeed. We may perhaps even do that. But first, Tommy.
I figured it.
Alright, and that's the end of this episode. Thank you all for watching and being patient with me. See you all next time.